back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
And we're back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650. I'm Joanne Sutton, and joining us in the studio today, we have Allison Howard, Vice President Sales and Marketing from Origin Active Lifestyle Communities, as well as Judy Carter has joined us today, General Manager at OriginAtLongwood in Nanaimo. And today's show is specifically dedicated to learning about Origin's active lifestyle communities and what they have to offer for senior living in Canada. OriginAtLongwood is a spectacular property located in Nanaimo. So Judy, because you seem to be the expert, being the general manager there and having spent many years there, let's talk about some of the different living options that you offer at OriginAtLongwood, including independent living.
OriginAtLongwood offers a full spectrum of options for persons who are looking for that type of lifestyle. We offer independent living, we have assisted and memory care, and we offer the opportunity to, once you move in with us, you can just simply age in place. For our independent suites, we offer you many options of one bedrooms and den, 2 bedrooms, and several floor plans. And the suites feature large windows offering a variety of exposures to Nanaimo's breathtaking vistas or Longwood's pristine forest. We are situated in the midst of on 5 acres of very graciously landscaped grounds that's also naturally forested. So it's quite
it sounds beautiful.
A pristine environment.
And what about something like security? You know, for someone moving into independent living for the very first time, what does OriginAtLongwood offer to sort of appease someone and make them feel safe and secure?
We offer 24 hours security. We offer 24 hours concierge security and concierge service and night security. Plus, we also have a very state-of-the-art nurse call system, which is connected to our nurses. So if you needed emergency help, they just
a second
call
away.
Yes.
You've made it
Yes.
sound, actually, you've painted a very nice picture. But you also mentioned something that's piqued my interest. You called it living in place. It's a concept. Can you expand on that for us and let us know what that means? What does living in place mean?
Living in place, well, it's the concept. The old concept was aging in place, and we've changed the nomenclature around that because we don't want to age. We're not. We know we're aging.
Well, we are aging.
We are aging, but it's like we don't need to take out a full-page ad saying I'm aging because there's certain connotations that are attached to that, right? It's why we don't have retirement in our name either. When we're living in place, we're doing something. We're being active. We're having a life, and when we're living in place, services come to us. We can access the services that we need, whether they be housekeeping or extra laundry services or meals delivered to our room, or more complex services like support with getting your medication. You can have that in your suite. Or if it's even more complex than that, like memory care, which we call memory care, which used to be called long-term care, we call it memory care because we're taking care of your memories. We're supporting those memories. We're looking for opportunities to access those memories. You're living. You're not aging in place. You're living in place.
So what I hear you saying is you've just taken an individual from growing up in a home in a larger community, and you've just made that community a little bit smaller and made everything that they want in your lifestyle or that you want in your lifestyle, you've put it all at their fingertips.
It's home. It's their home.
It's home within reach.
It's
That I don't have
home.
to drive 3 miles to go and get my hair done anymore.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And you've included a view and beautiful gardens and, of
Yeah.
course, lots of fun and activities and food, which we will talk about as the show progresses. So if there's ever an area where that Origin philosophy is truly personified, it's in what we used to call long-term care and providing a little bit of assisted living. How does that work at Origin?
So we have some fantastic options for care. There's a lot of communities that will have an area for assisted living. And when we started off, we had an area for assisted living. And then we decided that, assisted living you're pretty much independent. You just need some assistance with the daily routines of living. And so what we've done now is we offer those services right into people's suites. So if it's things like you need help getting dressed in the morning, or you need help having a shower, or you need help remembering when to take your medications, or managing those medications, making sure that somebody's overseeing them and that they're the right medications, we come to you. What's so fantastic about that is nobody knows that you're receiving those services.
So you keep your sense of pride.
You keep your dignity. You keep your independence. You live in the same suite that you've for some of our community members, they've lived with us since the day we opened. Yes. Now they need a little extra support. They don't have to go to another area to receive that support. For as long as we can support them within their suite, they will receive that. Some people are open about the fact that they're getting that. Some people are private about it. It's their choice. It's up to them to decide what they want to share or not share.
And not everybody lives alone or ages alone. What can you tell us about the couples care that's available at Longwood?
In many cases, we understand that the issues surrounding caregivers, and very often people want to stay together, but one person is probably needing a lot more help than the other. So we offer an opportunity for couples to stay together and for the caregiver to have the respite they need while their loved one is being taken care of. Alison, can you expand on that?
Yeah, what's so beautiful about this concept, what we love about this is, and we'll talk about this as we talk more about our respite care, but quite often you have caregivers who've taken the whole load. Mm-hmm. They've taken on everything themselves, and they're tired, and they've had too much. And you know what? Maybe their partner, their spouse, has a little bit of dementia, and they're not safe on their own, but when they're together, they're safe, because one person is the watchful eye. But that person needs to go play golf, or go and play bridge with her girlfriends, or go and have some time that's strictly for her. We can then bring those services in on an as needed basis. You don't have to be in assisted living. You don't have to purchase a full care package. You can go and access those services in another part of the community, go and take a chair fitness class or a yoga class with other people around you, so we know you're safe. That gives the couple, the other person, time to go out, go to the pub.
Do you actually have to go to the pub or do whatever they need to do and just simply get a break?
Exactly.
Do you actually have an example of a couple that has lived that way in one of your properties?
Well, many of our couples have lived that way. I think the one that touches my heart the most is when the care advanced to a level that it was no longer possible for one of the this is the story of Stan and Hilda.
Okay.
And so Hilda was no longer able to live in the suite that they had chosen on their own. Her care that she needed was just too high. She and Stan had been married for 70 years.
Yes.
There's no way that he was going to stay in his suite and have her go to our memory care community. So they moved down together. And they took their beautiful apartment and they took their favorite things and they moved the things that meant the most to them into that suite, and they lived in memory care together.
And you helped make that work for them.
Oh, we totally made. We were so excited about how that worked for them. We made a video about it. We were so excited about it.
I was going to add that it was also in collaboration with their families.
Yes.
And I think that this is something that families really appreciate, the opportunity to work with us, and the opportunity to know, and the opportunity to know that we are willing to work with them to make things as seamless as possible for their loved ones.
Exactly. And the doors are open wide.
Yeah.
So Stan and Hilda came and went between the communities and accessed all their friends in the main dining room when they wanted to, and went and had a lovely quiet meal in our memory care area when they wanted to do that.
When they needed that.
They had the option, they had the choice, and Hilda received the most beautiful care, and she actually passed away.
Yes.
But she passed away with Stan, with her family around her.
Well, what I think is unique is it's a beautiful story, but what's so unique is that Origins at Longwood actually offers every level of care necessary.
Including palliative care.
Yeah.
Including palliative.
So you don't have to go anywhere else
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what sets you apart from the rest, I believe. So now you've piqued our attention. Can you touch a little bit on the topic of trial stays or vacations? Say, can I go and test it out to see if it works for me? And how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, when we're when people are looking at communities, it's one thing to walk in and have a look around and see what it's like, and you sort of get a feel for it, but you have to really be able to see yourself living there. We always say, are your values reflected here? Can you see yourself sitting in this pub on a Friday night having a drink with these people? Can you see yourself in this chair fitness class? And some people can, and other people it takes longer for them to get to that place. So we say, come and kick the tires. Come and live with us. Talk to the people. Eat a meal with us. Ask them. Don't ask me. Ask them. What do they think of it? What are the pluses? What are some of the challenges that they're having living here? What did they experience that they weren't expecting to experience, either good or bad? So people come in, they're prepared. They know, oh, it takes about a month to really feel like I've got my sea legs, because we're the cruise ship that doesn't go anywhere, right? Or some people it takes a couple months. Other people, you know what? One other person will say, well, I was so ready, and my wife passed away, and this was the best move I've ever made, and I embraced it right away. They get everybody's story. They get a frame of reference for what their experience may be like. They get to try everything before they make that decision. So that's a trial stay. And then vacation stays, we have a great story about Zena. Do you want to tell that story about Zena from...
Well, you go ahead.
Okay, because I'm such a wallflower anyway. So we had one of my favorite stories about our trial stays is you can stay for 2 or 3 or 4 months with us. We had a couple who came from the PA in Manitoba, and they did a trial stay with us, and they went back to Manitoba, and it was still cold, and it was gorgeous and warm in Nanaimo, so they packed up and they moved in with us.
They sold and they moved
they moved in with us.
I was actually going to ask, is there any risk involved with the trial stay? But I think you've just...
The risk is you might stay.
How bad can that be?
Yeah.
You're listening to Boomer Life on CL650, and we've been chatting about senior living, not just any average senior living. We've been talking about Origin Active Lifestyle Communities. And in our studio, Alison Howard, the Vice President of Sales and Marketing, and also Judy Carter, the General Manager at OriginAtLongwood in Nanaimo. If you want more information, please visit the website, originway.ca. Coming up next, we'll have a conversation about the fun, the food, and the family atmosphere at Origin at Longwoods in Nanaimo. Stay with us.
Canada's only weekly radio show dedicated to the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.